company. Muthoot Finance is the stock which actually is selling off. Ritu is here with the changes the RBI has made with regards to gold financiers. Ritu, morning.
Good morning, Prashant. 98% of Muthoot's AUM is gold loans. So yes, it is one of the most impacted. But the headline from these draft rules really is they're not as bad as feared, although there may be some near-term impact. Now, what do the rules, the draft rules say? For bullet repayment consumption loans, the tenor has now been capped at 12 months. They also say gold now has to be valued at 22 carat purity. LTV changes or loan-to-value changes are some of the most significant that will impact NBFCs like Muthoot. Now, what RBI has said is that this 75% LTV has to be maintained throughout the tenure of the loan, something that was already applicable to banks, but it is now being made mandatory for NBFCs as well. The other additional factor is that the accrued interest has to be factored in when calculating that 75% LTV ratio, which means, at the time of sanctioning of a roll, you can't, the dispersal amount cannot breach that 75%, including the interest that was to accrue. So the origination LTV may actually have to be brought down lower. And if this breach in LTV continues for 30 consecutive days, there's also a 1% additional standard asset provisioning that will apply. So what it really does is reduces the arbitrage between NBFCs and banks, which is why you're seeing the likes of Muthoot getting affected. Now, brokerages say that this can affect, growth in the near term immediately after implementation, but they also say, the outcome is slightly better than expected because, for instance, markets were talking about, people in the street were talking about bullet loans itself being scrapped. Morgan Stanley believes Muthoot's counter-cyclical business can still ensure strong earnings, building in an ROE of 20% for this financial year, 18% for next financial year. And CLSA says this will be marginally disruptive for Muthoot and is building in a loan growth of 12 to 15% over this year and next.
All right. Thank you very much for that.